My time on Abilify, also known as Aripiprazole, what was it like? For me, I got the, or at least one of the worst, if not like the worst common and not like super dangerous antipsychotic side effects, and that would be akathisia when I was on Abilify. I think I first started Abilify when I was in the um, in the mental hospital at one of my stays there, and yeah, it was a nightmare having akathisia in there because they make you do all these stupid things that you have to attend, and if you don't attend them, they kind of like they don't really say it, but yeah, you can't really leave because they're just going to say, oh, they're going to write down patient is not participating in the stupid activities and the lectures and whatever. So then you're not going to leave as early unless you get to you get like a sign off to leave. But anyways, yeah, I was in hell, also known as the mental hospital, where one of the hells in this world. And basically, yeah, I was on the Abilify and I was having akathisia, having to sit and listen to these stupid lectures while I felt extremely restless and like I wanted to jump out of my own skin, and it was like borderline torture that for like days on end. And I should note, this is probably very important that I note, is that I was on Prozac at the same time, also known as fluoxetine, which is an SSRI. It's an antidepressant, and it actually increases the amount of Abilify in your body because it's there's some kind of like regulatory pathway in your brain or something that is both utilized by Abilify and Prozac. Now you can get akathisia from Abilify alone, but you can also get akathisia from Prozac alone. But when you mix the two together, of course, it can be higher because it's like you're actually on more Abilify than you'd actually would be. So, yeah, I can't remember if I voiced my concerns or if I just didn't say all that much because I didn't want to stay in there longer, which kind of makes sense. Like it makes sense, like something that I would do, and probably what I was thinking. Like I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna stop taking these medications as soon as I get out of here. I'm not gonna say anything because then, if I thought if maybe if I said something, then they're gonna keep you there longer and then try to adjust the medications. Blah blah blah. But anyways, yeah, I think, and that the part about that too was that I think was the worst mental hospital I ever went to. It's kind of it's close competition with another one, but I definitely remember my least worst one, which still was really bad. But yeah, this one was definitely a competitor for one of the worst. It was pretty bad, pretty bad. Um, yeah, so I was on Abilify. I had akathisia. I think I was still taking it afterwards, or even after I stopped taking the medication. I think I was still having that akathisia, that restlessness. And I remember telling the psychiatrist that I saw after I left the mental hospital that I just wanted to roll all over the floor and everything. So he gave me a prescription for um, Ativan, which is a benzodiazepine. It's in the same class as I think it's well, yeah, Xanax, and there's another one. What is it, like Klonopin? Maybe not Klonopin. Um, no, maybe it is. I honestly don't remember. But it's a benzodiazepine. It's a benzo, and he gave me that, and yeah, so I had the uh, the Ativan and took that. He told me to just take it as needed. I still have the prescription actually, or I still have some left over. I just won't use them unless it's an emergency for like anxiety or something. But I never use them. It's best not to uh, use that type of stuff if you can help it at all. But I'm pretty responsible with that type of thing. Being left alone with drugs because I'm straight edge and everything. I don't abuse that type of stuff. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, he gave me the Ativan for um, the akathisia, which is one of the treatments that they have for it. and I think he discontinued the Abilify, and eventually I got out of it. But I think it was like constant. It was like constant. Like there was almost never any time. It might have slowed down a little bit, but it was pretty much just constant. And I remember it was kind of hard to even sleep because of it. It was just very stressful, and I do remember. I don't think the Ativan actually helped that much, to be honest with you. I must have had it pretty bad or something. I don't know. Because I was actually, when I got home, I was like writhing around on the floor and I was like very excitable. I think that combination of, I think that combination of the Abilify and the SSRI really like kept me almost in like a manic type state where I was just very hyper, and I was like, yeah, like writhing around on the floor, and it was pretty bad. Um, yeah, and then I remember being given the Ativan, and I didn't even feel that much from it. Like that's supposed to be a super sedating drug. Like I remember, like it's supposed to be a super sedating drug, and I remember they gave it to my grandfather when he was in the hospital after he got real sick or something like that, and they didn't want him to get all this anxiety because of his heart issues, and like he was totally zoned out, like he was totally doped up, and I don't think they had him on all that much, but yeah, it's powerful stuff apparently, and I only took it once, maybe twice, maybe I only took it once, but I really didn't feel all that much from it, and I kind of had like a funny feeling, like I think I started just laughing and like giggling, and I felt kind of like just light a little bit, but I didn't really feel, mm, I don't know. I didn't really feel like super drowsy or anything. I just kind of felt a little more relaxed, like it took the edge off a little bit. But maybe that just goes to show like what I was on the Abilify and the Prozac mixed together. I'd like had my mood like crazy high and was causing all this akathisia and everything, and that's how powerful it was. I think it calmed down the akathisia a little bit, but it was still there. So maybe I needed to take more because I think it was only like half a milligram. I could check the prescription or something like that. It was, they give them in pretty small doses, the benzodiazepines typically, if your prescriber is at all responsible. Um, but yeah, I've heard bad things about people getting addicted to the benzodiazepines and then having all kinds of crazy withdrawals and their personality changes, etc., etc. I want to mess around with it. If you need things for anxiety, maybe take it if it's serious, but you got to be responsible with it. And I just take some Benadryl, as much as that sucks and can actually be quite addictive, and etc. Like even the Benadryl is probably safer, at least just short term. It's not worth getting like risking getting addicted to benzodiazepines. So yeah, trying to think if there's anything else. Well, that was my story with Abilify for the most part. Um, yeah, it sucked. Got akathisia. I think that was the only drug that gave me akathisia, but it could have been the mix with the Prozac. I don't really know. I can't remember if I kept taking Prozac after that or what. That was a hectic point in my life where I just kept switching all these medications and everything. I had the most medication switches ever. But I thought I was going to title this video something like my experience with Abilify, also known as Aripiprazole. But I guess I'll put Prozac and what do you call it? Ativan in the title too, because I guess that was my experience with those as well. But the thing about Prozac is that I actually had it. That was like the first ever psychotropic drug. That was the first ever psychotropic drug that I was on when I was 11 years old. They gave me the SSRI Prozac, and for a generalized anxiety disorder, and actually, so I know that it didn't cause akathisia back then. It just caused like low appetite and like a nauseous kind of feeling. Yeah. So I remember what it's like just to be on Prozac, and it didn't cause the akathisia. So that's why I kind of concluded that it was either the combination of the Prozac and the Abilify, or it was just the Abilify. So Um, I don't remember for sure if I had a point where I was just taking the Abilify by itself. Maybe I was. I don't quite remember. It's all fuzzy to me. I could probably pull up the documents at some point, but for the sake of making this video at 3 a.m. for you all, here's that. If you're taking Abilify, you know, just listen to your prescriber, or, you know, voice your concerns, make sure you're heard and whatnot, but, you know, don't let me scare you away by stating these side effects. I'm just saying those are some side effects that I had in the past with it, and if you're experiencing them, definitely tell the prescriber. Um, you know, make it known. And yeah, but if if you're taking it and you feel fine right now, just you know, don't be scared. Don't make me scare you off of anything. I'm just sharing my experience. But do be careful also if you start taking SSRIs or other drugs that can interact with the Abilify, that can actually heighten your risk to get akathisia and other side effects. So anyways, thanks for watching. Yeah, peace out. See ya.